One of the things that makes Once Upon a Mattress so exciting is that Jackie Hoffman, who is one of our most talented singer actresses, finally gets her comeuppance, and now she's Winifred in Once Upon a Mattress. How does it feel to take over this iconic role?
It's scary. It was daunting because the word iconic, that's exactly what I was saying, but I think I've really made it mine, so I'm really excited.
Now, were you a fan of the show? Had you known a lot about the show beforehand?
I didn't. I only knew Shy. I shockingly knew very little about it, and of course I knew about Carol Burnett, and I'm like the only person on the planet who didn't do a production in school or in camp, and I saw like a summer camp production of it, but I wasn't as deeply ingrained in it.
So you didn't know Happily Ever After?
No, can you believe it?
That's my favorite song in the whole show.
Oh, well, I hope I deliver.
Now, is there roles or other pieces that you would like to take on, or would you rather create your own pieces?
Oh, well, they're both a headache and a joy. And, of course, there are plenty of roles I'd like to take on. Many things. Martha and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Golda, God forbid.
But you're competing with Golda, so this would not have been something that could have happened this time.
This is a much more fun evening, trust me.
What would you like the audiences to take away from your performance?
That Winifred was hilarious. And she could really sing. And she also showed a vulnerability. Thank you.
Once Upon a Mattress, the queen is John Epperson. John, what made you want to take on this wonderful role?
Oh, well, selfish reasons, to be totally honest. I created a character called Lypsinka, who mostly lip syncs in my career, my so-called career. And it's been a bit of a conundrum. I always say that I have two traps. One trap is drag, and the other trap inside that trap is lip syncing. And I need to just still try to re-educate the business and the public and my fans and everybody that I can do other things. And I wanted to do this show because I know it's a good part and it's a great opportunity for me again to show that I can also be a traditional actor. I don't have to be alone on stage lip syncing. And I had done a role like this at New York City Opera in 2004. I played the stepmother in the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella. And at the same time, I had a role in the movie Kinsey with Liam Neeson. And that was playing across the street from Lincoln Center. And I had about 9 pages wearing the Paris collections in Paris Vogue, photographed by Bruce Weber. All this happened November, December of 2004. And I thought, something's going to happen for me now. With all these 3 things, there's some kind of synergy, and I'm going to be asked to audition for more parts. And nothing happened. I was not asked to go to any audition. And so I thought, I just have to keep trying. And so I instigated this production of Once Upon a Mattress, partly for myself, also for Jackie. Jackie's never played a lead part in a show this big. She's never had her name above the title. She's never taken the final bow. And all that's going to happen for her.
Now, why did you lip sync? Because you actually sing rather well.
I started lip syncing because I had no training as an actor. I really had no training as a singer. But I had an enormous desire to be on stage and a great deal of fear about the traditional route of going to auditions. This thing we did today, when I moved to New York in 1978, I would have been a mess. There's no way I could have done it. I couldn't have done it.
Not even hiding underneath a character?
Well, that's what happened. I started hiding underneath the character of Lypsinka, but hiding behind other people's voices, hiding behind the makeup.
So this really is a coming out of the closet kind of thing.
It isn't, because like I said, I did Cinderella in 2004, but people forgot I did it. So I'm doing Once Upon a Mattress. So still feel like I have to remind people that I can be a traditional actor.
Now, what other roles would you like to take on, and what are the kind of things you look for?
Well, you mean for Lypsinka to play?
No, you.
Oh, for me? Well, I'll have to put some thought to that.
Mrs. Lovett?
I guess I better start thinking about it. I don't think I could have the vocal chops to do Mrs. Lovett. Let me think. Oh, well, this is one I have fantasized about. And I'm so afraid people will laugh when I say it, because it's a huge, iconic role. And someone who we know and love is doing it right now in Florida, I think.
Hello, Dolly Leroy Reams.
I want to play Dolly Levi because I don't want to say anything bad about Jerry Herman or about Thornton Wilder or Michael Stewart, but I think the only way to do Dolly now is for a man to do it. That's the only way that it's unique. And it's not, what Leroy is doing is not really unique, because I met Danny LaRue in London in 1994. And he said to me, you know what my only regret is? David Merrick offered me an American tour of Dolly, and I turned him down because I was afraid the public wouldn't know who I was. He said after it all happened and I had turned it down, he said, I realized I would have been on the cover of Life magazine. But he did do Dolly and Mame in the provinces on tour in the UK.
See, I can see roles like Mame, again, Mrs. Lovett.
Mrs. Lovett's too hard to sing, but I could sing Dolly. I could sing it. Oh, yeah, I could do that.
And what would you like people to take away from seeing this show?
I want them to take away the sweetness that's underneath the show. I was having a conversation with a friend recently, and it was a special conversation because we were in Paris. I was there recently, and as an American friend who lives in San Francisco, and he said, I think earnestness is coming back. And I've thought that for a while, and it was so lovely to hear someone else say that. And this show is filled with earnestness and tenderness. And I want people to leave and say to themselves, oh, a Broadway musical doesn't have to be snarky like Book of Mormon.